time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the sky from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up of the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes, wait, hold on. Can y'all hear me? Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Rosera Menin. Yes, family, one perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. And of course, if we not correct, feel free to correct us. Yeah, family, I know we here behind the, what time? After 9 o'clock, you could believe that. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. But we here, family. We here. We here for the loyal people. Royal people. You know, like royalty is loyalty and loyalty is royalty. We here. We here. We here. Yo, man. What did you learn today? I mean, so many things happened in just this one day alone. And I had to put the question out there. So wait, hold on. Let me open the lines as well. Let me open the phone lines. Remember today, Politically Incorrect. It's on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, usually at 8 o'clock. Yeah, we know. But if not 8 o'clock, shortly thereafter or sometime. But we here. Be sure to like it and share. Somebody keep telling me, Emmanuel, you got to tell people to like it and share and subscribe. I'd be like, listen, when the spirit bid you to like, share, and subscribe and click the thumbs up, whatever, you're going to do that. Once you get the message, that's it. But make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. At least do that. And if I ain't correct with the information, man, call and correct me. I saw a brother last night at a meeting. He said, I hope you get your facts straight. I had to tell the brother the facts is always straight. But if I ain't straight, just call and tell me. I ain't got no problem coming on here and say, you know what? That wasn't accurate. I did some more research or somebody I found out. I learned something today. And this is what it is. So I rock in my new beanie, tell myself, yeah, I gonna put it on tonight, man. Got all my military green. So you know, if I ain't all green, you know, today was an official diplomatic day. I had to go and represent. And man, did I represent. And what I learned today though, man, oh man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this in the early. We're gonna discuss some things. Yes, the issue, folks talking about the water in the north. I mean, that water in the north situation has been that way now since the DLP was in power. We ain't gonna even act as if this is a new issue. This has been going on for a while. And the issue like the sewage, I am sure that it's probably some sabotage or whatever. Because don't forget, you know, people in St. Joseph don't even have dirty water. In most cases, they don't even have water. We spoke about the containers that they had to fill up and folks got to walk to catch water. That's crazy, Barbados. It's just not a real place. But we ain't going to debate that too much because all these things going to keep happening until we start to govern ourselves. Stop asking the government to do for us that which we need to do for ourselves. I've been singing that tune now almost like a mockingbird, man. Like, don't nobody hear it. But we going to get through. We're going to discuss some stuff tonight. I'm going to tell you this in the early, though. Yes, I'm going to talk about St. Leonard's Boys School. I'm not even going to pretend. Yes, there's a principal there by the name of Mr. Cox. Yes, we're going to talk about some stuff. And I'm going to say this in the early. I'm going to tell you why we have issues with our young men. But I'm going to give you one example as to why. And we're going to start to look at this. If I don't have enough time to do the research now, well, I didn't have it today, but I would like to visit the Ministry of Education and take a look at the success rate or the graduation rate for young men leaving that particular school over the last, let's say, decade. Let's say, well, I could say 2 decades. I think a fair assessment would be 2 or 3 decades. Looking back over time, let's give it 3 decades for the say, you know, go 2 even. Let's do the odd. Let's look over 3 decades. Last 30 years. What has been the percentage of young men graduating with at least what we could consider average or what could be considered acceptable grades, or I don't want to use the term CXC, but me go and look at it because I experienced something today. I actually got kicked out of a principal's office today. I actually got kicked out. And I'm saying this because I know he gonna get some phone calls. Because somebody gonna call somebody, once Emmanuel will say something, somebody just call somebody and say, hey, listen. But one thing they can say, right? The truth is always an offense. I would admit it can be offensive, but it's never a lie. I'm gonna paint a situation for y'all. I'm gonna show you why. Our schools are failing our children. Right now, there's a whole campaign of save young girls. We don't have no issue with that. We want a campaign to save our children, period. We're not even distinguishing between the two. They may have specific and separate needs, but man, St. Leonard's, man, yeah. Well, the principal liable to get some lashes tonight. And I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because I feel it is necessary. Yeah, I know he ain't gonna like this. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now. My phone already here blowing up with messages. Don't message me. Come on, the live, man. We gotta stop doing that. Y'all want me to go out there and want me to say the world and everything. And I ain't got no problem saying it. All right. Okay, that's one. That's one. I hear you. One, I don't have many thousands. Come on, let's talk about it. In fact, I am sure that there were somebody that messaged me and said his son went there, and he went to BCC, he at university, but in fact, he had the type of mother he had, and I'm sure he had additional resources and help in the background. I'm not saying it was all exclusive. I'm saying this for all the schools, but I'm targeting St. Leonard's boys. We're going to look at that. Anyhow, before we get all into that, man, it's an open mic night, family. We got some questions. I'm going to paint a situation. Y'all can tell me if I was right or I was wrong. Let me know what's going on. I think that, Tim, good night to you too, my brother. Greetings, salutations. This is politically incorrect. So I tell folks all the time.
Real news for the people in real time.
It's only real news, man, for the people in real time. Just remember that, in real time. So that's what's up, man. Sean said, yo, it's 9:20 here. Yeah, I know. Wait, what do you mean 9:20 here? Here, where? You're not in Barbados, Sean. Don't play with me, man. 9:20 here. You got jokes. Your clock fast. Daffodil, peace to you and the family. King Alfred, we see you. Good night. You and the viewers locked on from Brooklyn. Shout out to the whole BK. Divine greetings to you too, family. You and everyone else. Good night to you too, family. Manners and respect, full manners and respect. Monica, good night to you too. Blessings to each and everyone. Give yourself a round of applause. Everyone that's tuning in. Shout out to the elder. Looking battle ready. That's right. That's the way to go. The creator, the ancestors, love the guidance, always Rastafari. Love and guidance to you, same way, family. Same way. Love and light. Greetings, family. Jackie, we see you too. Shout out to all the family again overseas. White-headed Caribbean, the Antilles. Good night, family. Good night. Smiling butterfly. Good night to you too. Wisdom and understanding, health and strength, politically incorrect family. Bless up. Miss Cumberbatch, we thank you for joining us. Greetings to you too. Greetings to you and the whole family. Make sure you tell a friend. I'm going to pause for a minute so folks can share this, because I was told by some people, when you come on, share the link and let me know. But I keep telling you all, make sure you subscribe to the page. That's why I tell you, so you can click on the bell, click all, so that when I come on, I ain't got to be here trying to multitask and send you these links while I keep a straight face and talk and push the wrong button and send you pictures or videos that I probably shouldn't be sending out. Oh, man. Infamous. They say I'm infamous right now. You never know, man. All right. Good night, Maria. Maria called and gave me an ultimatum. Maria threatened me. Here, I let you know, Maria threatened me, man. And although I take threat serious, man, there's some folks, man, that you just got to let them be. Maria, sincerely love you, man. You be good. We good. Make sure I ain't going to call you. When I get off this live, if you on, call me. How that sound? So if I don't hear you, well, I understand. But I'm telling you, when you get off the live, if you watch the whole thing, call me when I get off. Simple as that. Empress, I gotta show you up, man. I gotta show you up because I had the thoughts in mind about what you said in that meeting. have a great nephew who go to the school there. Yeah, I had some thoughts, man. I want to shout out all the people that making it happen, regardless of the circumstances, man. Monica, we going. Remember, you could shed some light on the situation. Blessings to you too, family. Greetings to you too, family. The best item food right now in the whole Ivy, and that is to my knowledge. Not saying that other people don't do good food, but this brother right here, next to Savings Plus, I'm telling y'all, man. Food, when you eat it right, you gotta sit back and tell yourself, "Cha boy, this is the real item, vital for the soul, man." Barbados at work watching the show on my phone. All right. You at work? Where you working, Sean? Where you at, man? Wait, hold on. Don't say, cause you should be at work working. Don't say nothing. I take that back, man. Somebody might tell a friend and tell a friend in a different way. We don't want that. Richard, we see you too, family. Greetings and mighty greetings to you, all the mighty beings. Violet, congratulations to you and the whole family. I'm doing great. It's good to see you joining us for sure. Give thanks. Greetings and salutations. Shout out to the whole Fade family. Y'all already know the whole Fade. Regina Lynn, greetings to you too. Shout out to Barbados National Congress. All I can say is, man, look, y'all amazing. Y'all amazing. But let me just jump into this thing right now. In fact, I got a few videos to play, and I don't want to seem like you can't, there's just somehow you can't really. Man, I ain't gotta say it though, because somebody gotta say it, man. I know there's clips. I didn't plan to mention the unmentionable, but I gotta mention the unmentionable in a different way. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go straight to the video off the top. What did I learn today? I'm gonna show y'all what I learned today. We're gonna do this thing step by step. So let me first go to this video. There's a few videos. I might not play all because I want to focus on the message with this school and these young men. Entirely focus on that. And I want to touch on that. We might need some new legislations for this because this is crazy. It's crazy. But anyhow, I want to start by let me add this to the screen first and foremost. And add this to the screen first and foremost, Regina. Add this to the screen right here real quick. Yes. Nation News. I kind of borrowed this for the Nation News. Nation, don't watch the face. You know how we do. But there's some initiatives going on in the North, folks. Mr. Thorne and the LP and so on, and some other individuals are just giving out water and stuff because of the situation with the water brung. And I mean, the water is just, in fact, I thought they had built a new desalination plant up there in the north. If I'm not mistaken, if you go across when you pass Port Ferdinand or whatever, you keep driving on that coastal road and you keep driving, rather than make the left turn to go to where the other minister used to be, Kelman or what his name was, that they stripped the other day, they ransacked this thing. Over that side, if you keep going straight, and I don't know the roads in St. Lucie, but if you keep going straight on the left-hand side, I'm almost sure there was a whole big project going on about a desalination plant, which is a bit strange because I think we gotta go look into that because I'm not sure if it's still there or what the situation is with that, but there was supposed to be a project up there along those lines. But nevertheless, so Mr. Thorne and others are up there giving out water, and I want to commend Mr. Thorne. Y'all always say got something bad to say about Mr. Thorne. Mr. Thorne is out there doing some work in the community. I want to definitely commend him. And his folks are, again, boots on the ground, and that's good. That's a good thing. He's also encouraged. In fact, let me let the clip play. I think Thorne has been watching Politically Incorrect. I think so because we've been saying this for quite a while, man. Stop paying the bills, man. Stop paying land tax. Just stop it.
To the people of St. Lucie, that when you sign up with the Barbados Water Authority to receive a water service, that service is based on a contract. And if the Barbados Water Authority is distributing water that is of a poor quality, the law considers that they have fundamentally breached the contract. And if you fundamentally breach a contract, the consumer is entitled not to pay. And I think it is time for us to petition the Barbados Water Authority to acknowledge their fundamental breach of their contract with the residents of St. Lucie and not to send them any bills in future until this problem is corrected.
Okay, Mr. Thorne, definitely agree with you on that. No more bills until this problem is resolved. But also, we've been saying this for a while, though, although there's no petition. I think that it also will be retroactive because in reality, this water issue has been going on for a while, quite a while. And I don't think there's ever really a good day St. Peter and St. Lucie have gotten, like you said, and I like how you articulated that, what they signed up with the agreement in exchange for their money. So the contract been breached, so the basic research would show that, in which case, I think the Water Authority also ought to not only not receive any more funds, but let's add an additional thing, Mr. Thorne. When you do your petition, add this other clause as well, that they make it retroactive and they reimburse the individuals for monies that was paid. In the event that they do not want to reimburse them, that's all right. Let it be signed into the future that they'll receive once the problem is rectified, or from the point of being rectified going forward, perhaps maybe 4 or 5 years, that they won't have to pay water bill. Don't just stop paying bills now and go forward. A lot of money has been collected by the Water Authority in the last decade, to my knowledge, at the very least. And I say decade because when I won't say that part. I was told by an individual back in 2015. Yes, then that was DLP. 2016, yes, that was DLP. 2017, yes, that was DLP. That this water issue been going on since then. So we ain't gonna look to point fingers at, we ain't doing that. And I with you on that. But what I'm saying is that, no, it gotta be retroactive though, because the folks been paying their money and not getting quality. So we just ain't gonna drop it and say, well, don't worry about the past. The past is the past. We're gonna just look at it now. That's no problem. But once it rectify, make sure that they get at least a minimum of 5 years, no water bill. Add that to your petition. I support that. I, Emmanuel Barilli, endorse that fully. That's right at my alley. However, Mr. Thorne,
That is how we will be petitioning the bar.
I wanna say something though on this. Yes, so that was it. Now I'm not sure who this gentleman fully is.
And you can look for the petition.
Mr. Thompson. I noticed they're giving out water. What I also noticed, he's wearing a shirt mark on Dasani. No, they're gonna say this. Everywhere you go in Barbados now, you seeing Dasani water. Come crop over certain things, you can't do nothing else but sell a certain brand of water. I'm not sure how the government is pulling this off, because this is happening under this administration. Yet I see everybody, apparently B and D, supporting this water, Dasani. Family, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. All I'm gonna tell you is this: go and look up Dasani water here. I'm begging you all. And Mr. Thorne, I commend you again. If you're going to give out water, not a problem. There's a company in Barbados owned by a black family. He makes alkaline water. The family, I don't have the information all right now. And I think there's 2 other families that might be also dealing with reverse osmosis water. I believe Dasani is reverse osmosis water added with other stuff. They add other stuff to it, but it's not fully safe for everyone. In fact, it may not be that safe at all. So we don't want to create a problem trying to fix a problem and create a much bigger problem in the process. So that's my advice, Mr. Thorne. Just some solid advice from Barbados National Congress. I'm not sure, perhaps this is coincidental and they were not giving out Dasani water. I wasn't there. But all I'm going to say is, even for this brother, perhaps he works with a company. I don't know, but let's just be mindful. Let's just be mindful. Just be mindful is all I'm saying, because, let's just be mindful. I think you're doing a great work by helping the folks. But Dasani water is a kind of water that you do some research on it. You might, look, folks in St. Lucie, let me tell you what to do, man. And I ain't knocking the water issue, but I can't accept, right, that. All right, look, man. Mr. Thorne, I going to tell you this. I going to tell you what to do. This is what to do. Boy, look. This is what to do. Go to the brother over there in Wildy. I think his name is Leon. a place called Roller Plastic. Go check Leon out. All right? Leon be selling tanks, water tanks, water tanks. Go and at least find a way you can negotiate a deal with the brother Leon. If not a purchase direct, maybe lease to own something where you could pay it off perhaps in a period of 2 years or so. I'm sure if you break down the money a little, $20 a month, $20 a month, you can probably pay it off in 2 years or so. You know what I mean? And go and get, depends on the size of the household. Let me put it that way: $20 or $30 a month, $40 a month, maybe $10 a week, maybe $40 a month. Pull it off. But based on the size of the family. And work out a plan, Mr. Thorne, to your ministry, to your whatever y'all call yourself, I don't know. That rather than giving out water all the time, buying this Zephyrins and Dasani and God knows whatever else y'all purchasing, get these tanks for the families so this rain that falling, see all this rain that both the place flooding St. Lucie always getting rained out. Let the families collect rainwater, like how the houses and stuff in other islands, like the Virgin Islands and that kind of stuff, and let them get the pumps necessary and all the apparatus there from the brother Leon and the Pine and Wildy, I think it is, Roller Plastic, get them installed properly. Even create job opportunities, because you got to build the base, that's construction. You got to hire a plumber. I'm sure they got plumbers in those same communities, masons in those communities, carpenters to build the framework, electrician to wire the tank, to wire the pump, my apology. And let them do that instead and collect and install some guttering and collect that rainwater. I mean, to have 800 gallons of water on standby will save you all a trip going there. You can still go, but you won't got to worry about buying water and transporting it and giving out water and these plastic bottles in the sense that, might have been in the sun, whatever. You can put it in the tanks and work with the tanks probably in a better way and see what can happen like that. It's a different grade and maybe store X amount of gallons or whatever. You can boil it, drink it, whatever, bathe, whatever. Just a thought. I ain't knocking the thing, but the Sani man, the Sani family, we just got to be mindful. I'm just saying it's an idea. Maybe it may not be as viable as yours. I'm just saying it just seems a bit more long-term than hand out water, twice a month or once a month or whatever, because in reality, that's going to take sustainability. The amount of money you put into that, you could definitely got tanks. Because when you bathe in the same dirty water, your skin absorbing it, folks still got to cook, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying the tanks might be a good idea. Fade had a tank initiative, and I'm telling you, a lot of folks was able to benefit from the tanks. I think we purchased, about 20 tanks, about 20 water tanks or upward of 20 water tanks at one point in time. I'm sure if we, without the resources that you have access to, can pull that off, I'm sure you can pull off an easy 50 tanks or 100 tanks. So, Mr. Thorne, that's just my 2 cents for now. Any more information you need, the numbers on the screen somewhere down there. Give us a call and let's have a conversation. But anyhow, let me check the comments real quick, because this is a night for y'all, family. What did I learn today? I learned that we got to take care of ourselves, family. Like I said, this is crazy. St. Leonard's boys, man, I got kicked out the principal's office today. Do you believe that? The man kicked me out, yeah. The man says, sir, leave my office. It's funny how I get kicked out of offices, principal's office. That's crazy. Anyhow, let me get here to the comments real quick and see what's going on, man. Another thing to consider is that the other parishes, the tap water is very turbid in the sense of water of white water coming from the faucets for days on end. I think that might be gases in the water. I'm not sure what is the reason behind that, but Barbados traditionally had proper quality water. What happened? I told you all a while ago that there's an individual here who is mining water and selling back to the water authority. I don't know if y'all believe me or not, but what, man, it's almost like perhaps they're bottling the water and shipping it overseas. We don't know. We do not know. It's one thing to stop paying the bill, which I totally agree, but don't charge the people a huge bill for not paying, because these people aren't easy. Andre, gonna tell you something, right? I fully feel that that whole sewage tax, all that other stuff should have been come off. Mr. Thorne, you can see since you in Parliament, and you bring up stuff in Parliament, how about bringing that up? You know, because I think that needs to be mentioned as well. That stuff should have been off. The amount of money they have made from that and still making from that, and that issue has been, I mean, again, we can go on and on and on and on. They are sponsored. I don't know if they're sponsored. Perhaps he was just wearing his shirt that day as a coincidence or something. I wasn't there, like I said. I don't know the brother Toppin. That's his name. But I said, I don't know. The Sani though is not good quality water as far as I'm concerned. If America does not use it, so why should we? I said it. She said, I said it. Correct. The mundo is right. We ain't playing that. We ain't want no Dasani, man. Like I'm telling you, man. But everywhere you go, in the schools, everywhere you go, you see, listen, family, the water and the food has been weaponized. We know this. We talk about it all the time. We gotta stop pretending and putting around this issue. We gotta stop meowing around this issue. We gotta stop it. We got to start recognizing we got to do for ourselves what we could do for ourselves. Once they aren't up to their old tricks and the whole issue is really a land grab, relocate the people, let time pass, and then you will see the true reason why they won't fix the water problems. Andrew, look, man. Hit the nail on the head, man. You hit the nail on the head, proverbial nail. That's what the government should be doing in these areas with the taxpayers' money. I guess you mean the water tanks, right? They ain't going. That's a fade thing, man. That's a Barbados National Congress thing, man. They're not thinking like that. The Sani is tied to Coca-Cola was being issued with bottled water in USA. Tim, listen, the Sani, look, man, we know about the Sani. Those who know. I telling you, man. I telling you. Valette said, I feel your mouth get you in trouble. I'm not sure in what way you're referring to with that one, but it would be fair to make the assumption that my mouth got me in trouble because naturally the minute you speak in this way, most people think it is trouble. But I'll tell you the story in a minute, Violet, and you can determine if my mouth got me in trouble because all I did was answer a question. In fact, I'll tell you his response to my question. Just that. In fact, based on that question right there alone, man, I'm going to jump right into it, man. Emmanuel, would you believe I have a water bill for over $1,900? Wait, you said $1,900, like $1,900 and something dollars, and no one is in the house living, not a pipe don't turn on in the house? Monica, you making sport, man. Listen, send me a copy of the bill. Take a picture of the bill and send me a copy of the bill. Let me show what politically incorrect this do. In fact, by the way, I have to say this. In fact, let me pull it up real quick because if I don't do it this way, it wouldn't be fair because I did it initially. So let me do it the right way. Let me go right to it. Hang on a second. Let me go right to it. While we on that top, Monica, send me a copy of the bill. Take a nice picture, send it to me where I can see legibly. And we're going to deal with that. Y'all remember a few weeks ago, the brothers came on here from the fisheries. Shout out to Malcolm, the whole crew, and the deep sea technician. And y'all remember they came on and we talked about a few things, including a boat that was insured that wasn't getting the necessary, response from the insurance company. Let me put the boat up. This particular vessel right here. Well, I am personally right now proud to say that the brother was, I met him recently. He said it was my boat, a beautiful elder. He has such a beautiful soul. I mean, interesting man, very interesting man, very humble man. And he said, listen, I want you to know that the insurance company, by the way, it was ICBL. He said it was. He said they contacted him, they dealt with him, they resolved it peacefully, they took care of him, they gave him back a substantial amount of what he, the insurance. So I definitely want to say, shout out to ICBL Insurance and those that was involved. When you say, hey, you gotta get Jack the jacket too, because like I said, the elder, and he said he's thinking about repairing this vintage boat, this wooden boat. I mean, most boats now are fiberglass or a mixture. The elder got a classic boat here from the traditional Barbados fishing boat. That's, it's one of our own. And I want him to know, man, I'm thankful that he got through. I'm not saying that by mentioning it on politically incorrect that somebody was inspired. I ain't saying all of that. I'm just saying that, you know, we mentioned it on politically incorrect. And he got it correct. So he got corrected. So yeah, talk to the elder, ICBL again. Full salute to you on that one. And quite frankly, I'm going to say this as one of the probably newest members of the fishery industry. And I say newest because, you know, it's just a recent thing I got involved. We want to have a meeting with you all though. So we want to meet him with ICBL. We're going to push for that, family. The Fisher folks are good folks, beautiful people. I'm loving them more and more and more and more. Yes, I do recognize the whole, I've been here long, you can't tell me nothing. Yeah, well, we understand. We ain't worried about that. Nobody ain't trying to step a mash on your corns. But what we do know is that you can't keep doing what you've been doing. You know, Barbados is on the new management here. A lot of folks in for rude awakening. Having said that, Violet, let me say this, man. So Andrea, the sewage tax bill is millions. So where is the money going? You really want to know where it's going? My question, who gave the individuals the authority to be selling water to Barbados Water Authority? It's a contract. Water Authority claim that they don't have sufficient water, so they buy water to sell to the people of Barbados. Crazy. Tastes bitter at the end. There's a reason why it's bitter at the end. Go look up the Sani. They'll even tell you man, go look it up. I'm telling you, get home good, Violet. We talk later. Let me say this, family. So I went to school today to deal with a matter. A young man. I won't put too many details into it. I'll put this much information out there. So we go into the school deal with a matter because there's a matter. You know, when the school called to the parents, you know, a child was suspended in fifth form at that, a year where you're doing CXCs and should be focused on your work, being suspended for reasons that seem a bit unjustified. I'm gonna use my language correctly because I don't want to sound biased. So in all fairness, what was meted out to this particular young man seemed a bit unjustified. So the family sought to make an inquiry of the matter. So they called and tried to arrange a meeting. That went pretty unsuccessful for several days. So they decided to just, you know, arrive at the school. Having done so, they were allowed an audience with the principal of that particular school. Although I mentioned the school already, I guess right now it don't make no sense me trying to mask it. So at this particular school, I probably should have masked it, right? My apology, Mr. Cox. But the horse out the stable. So at this particular school, you know, when we first got there, we noticed, you know, different things going on, and we waited. Different parents are there as well, different issues with the young men, their child as well. And it was interesting because that story was if I was to tell you that one, like, oh my goodness, like you can't make this up. I wouldn't even want to mention it because it is that serious. And anyhow, let me stay focused on this one. So we finally go into the room, you know, and the principal is, you know, taking information for those who are present. Obviously, he would have known who the young man is because, you know, he recognized the young man. So he asked the mother her name. He wrote that down. At first, he'd asked me to take a seat, and I told him no, I was going to stand next to the young man. Because usually what they do is they let the parents sit in the room, and they make the child stand up in the principal's office. Apparently, children are not allowed to sit in the principal's office. I am not sure for whatever reason that is. Apparently, it seems to be a policy in a few schools I've been to. I don't know if it's an authority thing or whatnot, but students are not allowed to have a seat. From my experience, I don't know if that's something in other different situations, but nevertheless, so he asked her to take a seat. You know, the mother took her seat. I said, I'm going to stand up next to the young man, you know, right, so he doesn't feel isolated by himself. I just took the stance. The gentleman never asked who I was, never inquired my name, never asked me a single word, but proceeded to question the mother as if I wasn't there. Now, bear in mind, this is not my personal son, but it's someone I know I've watched growing for quite many years. So as he's proceeding, the mother's explaining the situation, you know, what her son would have told her, which is only fair. She doesn't know anything else. And then, he go on, well, she explained that. And then he spoke, well, in response to her, what he decided to do then was this, kind of not necessarily ignore what she was inquiring about her son. He spoke about another child that the young man was, I guess, affiliated with. Now, don't get me wrong. They said a bird of a feather does flock together. Well, that may or may not be necessarily true. However, the focus of this conversation went from her son to this other young man that apparently he has known for quite some time in the school to be an individual who apparently does a lot of not so nice things, according to him, quote unquote, from first to fifth forms. He does several acts that are not orderly, So he's painting a very negative image of this young man, which I personally had an issue with automatically. So, and he's going on and on about these infractions this young man has committed over the years. In fact, bringing up his history of suspension as well. And he's going on and on about this young man. This has nothing to do with what the mother say about her son, But nevertheless, let's proceed. And I'm listening the entire time. So when we got to a point now, I'm like, okay, well, she's asking questions. He's responding, well, if he wasn't there, then, and it's a lot of speculation, really. The young man spoke eventually and explained, well, I wasn't involved in the situation. I wasn't, I was nothing to do with it. Even the teacher that came down eventually said, well, no, he wasn't. He just happened to be there in the vicinity outside. He wasn't directly involved in the whatever back and forth the young man had with the teacher, or whatever words were exchanged or not, whatever. Okay, but nevertheless, because he got sent to the office as well with all the others, he asked a question as to why he asked the question, why is he here? And, he's being suspended for different infractions or whatever they want to call it, which I, again, felt were unwanted and unmerited. Nevertheless, so I decided to ask a couple of questions on my own. And I don't know if I was just inquiring if there's a RICO law in school, so that if one guy did something, I happen to know this guy, or I'm close in proximity in terms of where I'm standing, 10 feet away or 15 feet away or whatever, how many feet away. But because I know this guy and I'm seeing with this guy, I too am automatically guilty because I happen to know this guy and I'm sometimes seen with the guy. So I had to ask him, is there a RICO law? So I was a little shocked. But I don't know if maybe he didn't like that. But anyhow, so he proceeded again to tell me about this same other young man. So I asked him, well, I hope since you have all this information that you're doing something to help this young man and not just simply navigating his life from school to Dodds. Because the way you made this song, this young man heading to Dodds. In fact, he goes on to say that there's some teachers who are intimidated and afraid of this particular young man. I'm part of BIAP though. Been in schools, been all over the Caribbean, dealt with all kind of young men, the worst in prison or out, and we have been successful 100%. I can't relate to what a principal. Now he's a principal, it's the one who's supposed to have met the qualifications to be emotionally stable and balanced to manage a school, especially with all males, testosterone levels flowing. He's supposed to be chief to the point where they love and respect and honor and but I don't know if they do or they don't. But I would say this. So that conversation, he got to the point where he pulled back his chair. He was adamant, well, what I said, what I did is done, and that is it. So he proceeded to pull back his chair and stood up, which kind of indicated to the mother who was sitting that he was finished with this conversation. So then I asked the question, so, well, pardon me a second, Mr. Cox. How long you been a principal at this school? That's all I asked him, man. He said, you know what? You asking me too many questions. Which is funny because he never inquired who I was in the first place. I could have been the young man's father for all he know. The husband for the young lady for all he know. He was intent on dismissing me from the inception and just dealing with the mother. You see this, right? How they try to divide and rule. Now watch his science of this. He said, you are asking too many questions, right? And right now, he ain't answering no more. In fact, have a good day. So, okay, we got up. Well, the young lady got up and they proceeded to leave the office. I went to put the chair back in the manner in which it was under the desk we came, which bought me a little bit of time deliberately. As they exited the room, I said, well, pardon me a second, principal, may I have a word with you, man to man. In fact, he said, no, before they left the room, I forgot to mention this one part. He said to me that, he said, you asked me the questions, but you did something outside that I took offense to. You took offense to. So I tried to figure out, hey, what did I do? Violate what I did something he took offense to. I said, well, what did I do? I mean, I came here, I stood there, we came in. He said to me, you were speaking to the young men outside my office in the hallway. Well, the truth is, while we were waiting inside the office, I just stepped outside the hallway because it was more air than that room. And I didn't like the colors of the walls anyhow, but I went outside. I was standing outside and while I was outside standing up, the whole group of young men there, I saw a young man dabbing tissue by his eye that was bleeding. So I was like, yo, you okay? I mean, that seemed like the natural human thing to do. There's a young man there. He has a tissue on his eye. It looked like it's bleeding. I'm looking like, yo, you all right? I don't know where they came from. He said he came on his own. I don't know anyhow. So I just asked a question. Are you all right? So he explained to me, now my eye is bleeding and stuff. I looked at it and he's trying to touch it. I said, well, hold on a minute. If anything, get some water or compress the wound enough, because if you compress it long enough, the bleeding, it should stop. But don't keep putting your hands on it, because if your hands are not clean or you touch somewhere, you touch your shoe or the wall or whatever, pick up bacteria, and you have an open wound in your eye or right next to your eye, you might get yourself an infection. So I felt I was giving the young man some advice. And he was like, well, yeah, you're right. So then I'd see him try to take my advice because it was bleeding. And he was just dabbing the blood as it run. He dabbed it. I'm thinking, man, this, So he asking me, if you all right? I was thinking, I hope it wasn't in any altercation, the city violence at school. So I was asking, you all right? You doing, no issues or nothing, right? He said, no. So I look at the group, young men. So I said, let me ask a question. No, this is an all boys school. I said, let me ask a question. The gangs and stuff, here, like groups of young men, I noticed two of them started smiling and stuff. So I said, oh, I see. So we had a healthy conversation about young men and gangs, and they were like, trying to stay focused at school, and like, sir, you still gotta do the right thing. And I was telling them, well, you should try to avoid certain things and putting yourself in harm's way. And we had a positive interaction, as I would have done countless times in countless schools across the region, successfully. So he said to me, now, I took offense to the fact that you were speaking to the young men. So I said, well, what do you mean you took offense to that? That seemed a little, I don't know, understand. He said, well, I took offense. Anyhow, so he told me to leave his office. I said, well, hold on a minute. This explains something. He needed my office. Leave my office. He said, look, call security. He said, call security. I don't know. Anyhow, so I left the office. My thing is that, and this is being done by the individual who's a principal. And I'm trying to figure out, why would an individual behave like that when my behavior didn't warrant that? We were having a conversation about a matter which felt that he judged poorly. And in fact, he said at the very end of the conversation, he's going to speak back with the teacher or speak with the teacher. In fact, I don't think he has spoke with the teacher in the first place. He said he's going to speak with the teacher, ascertain whether the facts your man was saying were true. And if they're true, then he'd be allowed to come back, forget the suspension, he'd be allowed to come back to school. And I'm thinking, why would you investigate afterwards something when that should have been what you did first? This young man is in fifth form. He doesn't have the right time to be going home from school. Suspension? And for what? You ask right now what? And I hope the ministry gets a load of this and call and ask him tomorrow about this situation, because as far as I'm concerned, I think I need to answer the ministry a question. Like, the grounds for suspension in the school, although the principal has I don't know if they have the authority to suspend a student. Well, yes, they do have the authority to suspend a student. But there must be some kind of basis, some side of grounds that this can't suspend his child because I don't like the fact that you're wearing Adidas and not Air Max to school. Like, that can't be that can't be like, come on. So there's an abuse of power going on in some of these schools. And I saw that today. when a principal could behave that way towards a parent for that matter, because he still didn't have a clue who I am. I could have four male children at the school. He never asked one question. Never asked a question. And then he started asking some questions to bring clarity to the situation. Yeah, well, I was kicked out the office. I was told to leave the office. You get sent to the principal office. I was told to leave the principal's office, man. So family, if based on what I said, and that's one side of the story, of course. They will tell you it's two sides. And no, I didn't record it. No, I didn't video it because there's a child involved. But normally I would ask if I could record the conversation for the sake of clarity so that we all on the same page. But my thing though is that I think a lot of these schools in Barbados, we keep talking the children and the youths failing, the youths and the violence and stuff. I personally think, right, that a lot of these schools in Barbados at this point is the ones that's failing the children, man. I think there are a lot of people who are masquerading as teachers who've been there for a while. In some cases, some need to go home. Some have developmental issues, cognitive decline, all kind of. I think it need to be after a certain amount of years in certain professions. There need to be psych evaluations done on professionals like teachers, security guards, prison officers, policemen, on certain people that deal with a certain, like being a teacher is not easy. It's not. You got a love for it, a passion, and a bunch of other things to go with it. Not to mention tolerance and patience. But after a while, you start behaving a certain way. You start to think that what you're doing is right. And because there's nobody who have enough fortitude to tell you that you're wrong, you think that you're right. And I'm telling you, this gentleman today was wrong, man. Was wrong. Was wrong. Was fully wrong. And I like to see, I don't know how long he's been the principal of that particular institution, but I think we need to look at all these schools. But I'm definitely going to focus on that one now because you know what? I'm telling you, man, a lot of our schools in Barbados have been setting up our young men, basically turning them into criminals. I remember when I was going to Grantley Adams School, I go and call a name. We were doing the BIAP program. And one of the things one of the principals said to us then, which I felt he was sincere, he said, I am tired of opening the paper and on page 3, I think that's the page they put the court information on. I could be wrong. He said, I'm tired of opening the newspaper and seeing my former students, young men who just left school or those who left school a few years ago, always involved in the prison system or being sent to prison. He said, I'm tired of seeing it. As if Grantley Adams only produced criminals. And I thought that was so profound, like, wow, he made me go and take a look at it. The numbers, man, the numbers are staggering. There's certain schools in Barbados that do excellent, and a lot of young men are doing good work. Don't get me wrong. This has said her son is a poster child for that institution. And from what I heard, St. Leonard's School has a lot of good young men who do math and other subjects. I'm sure there's a lot of young men who come out doing great work. So don't get there and say that I cried on the school. But I also got to say that if there's a group of young men that we have identified, like the principal said, he identified this young man behavior for a while. If there had not been adequate intervention to get him on the path where he needs to be, but he has been allowed to continue that path, that trajectory, then somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Is he not then navigating that young man to prison by suspending him again? What is he going to learn from the suspension? I ain't even going to even mention the other part that he talked about. I ain't even going to mention that, man. Like, I honestly feel, Mr. Cox, man to man, that, this could have been avoided had we had a conversation today, like I requested. My aim was to find out how can we help each other in terms of helping these young men. But you as a man felt that, you was probably talking to, I don't know what you thought. I ain't even going to assume what you thought. But I know that you can hear about this, though, because somebody can tell you. Yeah. And you're going to see me again. I'll be back. You're going to call and schedule an appointment at the ministry and request your attendance. Now, we ain't playing these games. Our young people are too important to the fibers and the fabric of this nation to be playing the type of games that you play today. We're not even allowing it. We too grown as people. We too grown. In fact, I'm a quote. In fact, hold on a minute. I going. I probably shouldn't do this, but I gonna do it. Yeah, I gonna do it. I gonna play a clip that I heard today self that I feel I need to play for you. I feel I need to play this for you. If I find it. If I find it, I gonna play it. For sure I gonna play it. If I find it, I definitely gonna play it. I actually here looking to because I definitely want to play it. I definitely want to play it, man. In fact, I'm looking for it, but I actually do know where to find it, you know. I ain't gonna look so far. I could just click 3 letters and I gonna find it, man. Man, look. I can click 3 letters, man. And I know I can find it. See? 3 letters. Let me go back here and look for this thing here now. Wait, what? You can't make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up. I think right now that it's important that we. This the one? Yeah, this the one. This the one. Okay, hold on. I gonna play this clip here, man. I came across this today, man, and I thought it was so interesting. I'm not sure where he came from all of a sudden, but yeah, I gonna play it, peoples. You know me. You gonna play this, man. I just want to play this clip. This was actually in the House of Assembly. Those who had assembled to do the bidding of the folks in this country. Let me add this to the stage. Hang on a second. I'm gonna play this clip. This is my message to you, Mr. Cox, according to the words of according to the Speaker of the House. I won't even call his name. Let me make sure you can hear me. Mr. Cox, this is my message to you, man.
This chamber.
Hold on. Let me.
Honorable Member for Christchurch South, please.
By the way, Honorable Member for Christchurch South, if I'm not mistaken, is Mr. Ralph Thorne. So I think he was speaking to Mr. Thorne when he said this. I'm not sure why he felt the need to say this to Mr. Thorne. The mic was muted. Mr. Thorne's mic was muted, so you didn't hear what he was saying across the floor. But the message is what I'm playing. Get the message, family.
I have just returned to this chamber. Things that you might have done in my absence cannot and will not be tolerated in my presence.
Yes, Mr. Cox. Things that you might have done before, like suspending young men. And I'm not saying that there's not a need for disciplinary action in school. I don't like the word punishment because we don't want to punish our young men. We want to correct our young men. I think the language is flawed somewhat. I think that manipulates you to think that what you're doing is right, and it's not. It's not the times of the Puritans or the plantation. And despite the fact that you seem to have some degree of African consciousness, I don't know how deep that goes. That might be as far as just naming the countries, for all I know. But I'm going to suggest, right, that you recognize that you can't continue with that same mindset. We don't need to punish all young men that have not committed any crimes. We need to correct our young men. Correct them. So it's about correction and not punishment. And therefore, the view of it is different.
But if you cannot act with civility, I will soon ask for you to be removed from this honorable chamber.
Right. So if you can't act like you got some civil sense, I'm going to make a recommendation to the ministry that you be removed as principal. I don't know how long you've been there, but if I saw if today was an example, in fact, if Miss Mortley was there today, or the Chief Minister of Education, or yes, the minister herself, Kay McConnell, I get her name wrong all the time. And they had asked the kind of questions I was asking, you would have never respond to me that way. But I don't know if you tell yourself as a Rasta man, so, you know, he ain't a body, so you could talk to me anyhow, how you feel like talking to me in front of the young man, which is a bad example you were sitting, or in front of the young lady who you blatantly try to disregard and act like I wasn't even there in the first place. Nah, Mr. Cox. If you can't act like that, we're going to insist that you be removed, man, and have somebody else put there who have empathy enough and the youth's future and their best future at heart. You don't have that at heart at all. Clearly, we saw that today. And the way you dealt with this young man is a clear example. You ain't got no love for these children. But anyhow, continue, Mr. Holder.
I believe that you know better.
Yes,
Honorable member, I know that you know better.
I know you know better.
Honorable member, I know that you know better.
I definitely know.
I know that for a
Yes.
fact. You know the rules of this house. You know the standard orders of this house. If you do not wish to abide by them, I will then ask you not to enter this chamber if you do not intend to abide by the rules of this house.
That was a stern warning from the speaker to Mr. Thorne. I don't know what happened in there today or yesterday, whenever this was, but all I'm saying, man, this message I'm applying to Mr. Cox at the St. Leonard's Boys School. If you can't function like, man, look, that ain't gonna slide, so Mr. Cox. I ain't gonna front. That ain't gonna slide. I know you're gonna get some calls tomorrow. And definitely one gonna be in the ministry, man. We ain't playing that, man. Sean is telling you to check for leaks. That don't sound right at all. But it's Barbados and the Water Authority. Sean, what do you expect? Sound like Monica has bloody swimming in the phantom pool at the house. I don't know about that. Monica, you might go and check the I hope that the main is turned off. If there's nobody in the house, I sincerely hope that the main is turned off. Because what happens sometimes, I know some family who lived overseas had an apartment upstairs, some friends that I knew. They own the whole building, but they stayed in the guest house on the top floor. They're hardly ever in Barbados. And while the guests were out, I had to go by there to pick up something one day. And had I not gone by there, the person would have left a couple of days. I went there, did a couple of days live. The angle valve in the toilet upstairs broke, and water was flowing for like 2 days straight, and it was starting to leak downstairs in downstairs apartments. Now, had I not gone there and the folks was away for 2 months, and they would not have been back for 6 months, because they 6 months abroad and 6 months here, that water would have been running for at least 60 days in that house, that apartment downstairs. I could only imagine. In fact, some of the concrete started to fall at the ceiling. All it was a mess, but I caught it, in a couple of days. But you might want to check and see, or turn off the main water source, Monica, just as in case, Peter Phillips sport ignorance on brass sacks today. Okay, well, no, we can't call him that, Aaron. You can't call him that, man. You can't call him that. Well, you probably could call him that, but don't call him that, man. He spoke what he had to speak. Okay, lots of people call him brass sacks about high water bills they getting. I ain't gonna front though. I got a high bill myself. I was questioning the bill, but I looked at it like, man, this is madness. But you might got a point there, man. Maybe they're fleecing the people, all those millions off the storage and the turbine down Chapman Lane. It ain't fixed yet. I thought it was fixed. Yes, like Bermuda, the water for sure. You catch your own water. He said, thank the divine for the help. However, the message went across. We give thanks, man. The brother got sorted out. Yes, everyone pays the storage tax. Yet the interesting thing is that many houses in Barbados aren't hooked up to the storage line. That's the problem exactly. That's it right there, man, Mr. Thorne. Let's touch on that for a minute. Discuss that with the people. I hope that's one of your things you're going to take off. Since you want to get up in Parliament. Discuss in Parliament or one of the other rooms for real discussions. Yeah, I can imagine. Good night to you, Miss Agar. I know the Agar family originally from St. Lucie. St. Lucie is, I think, the home of the Agars as a family. I think the Scots had colonized up that side originally, but that's the Blackmores that were here in Barbados. What we call the ones that, well, y'all know who they are. Those who came here first. Just got in. Welcome. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Unfortunately, some of these positions are allegedly gained by who you know and not what they know. That's the truth. and is clear on how things are dealt with, that things are not what they should be. Greetings to the whole Clark family. I see you, Clarks. Good seeing y'all today, too. Y'all know who I mean. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Shout out to the fisheries again, man. I mean, shout out to the whole fisheries, man. Everybody doing work in the fisheries. Yeah, that young man. I don't, yeah, the poor guy. But the thing is, me asking him questions, apparently the guy said he took offense to what I did. I couldn't understand why. And if I was out there having foolish talk or idle conversation, maybe I could understand that. But he said he took it. So I asked him, offense to what? What did I say or what did I do that was offensive? That you were so offended by? Leave my office. Leave my office. Security, call security. Leave my office. I was like, well, this is crazy. I mean, the guy had almost like a meltdown. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. Behaved just like who put he there as principal, the minister of the ministry and the minister. Crazy. I'm not sure how long he's been there. What you would expect from these principals, Emmanuel, you as Rasta, he could not take your energy. That's a fact, though. I know that. I know exactly that. But the thing is, sis, knowing me, I'm a humble man, man. Most people say push peace first all day. Haile Selassie first. Well, mild-mannered man. I'm a mild-mannered man. Mild-mannered man. So you would know that I didn't go down there misbehaving and carrying on and, acting out of character. I'm always cognizant that I represent, first and foremost, Beryl. Aunt Rose is who I represent first and foremost, my grandmother. I carry her name. I want to make that sport family legacy. I stand on the shoulders of all those who came before me. I don't play around with this thing. So this man had a meltdown. I couldn't believe this. Like, you is who in charge? No wonder the youths at the school like this, man. You gotta be kidding me. So we gonna get you psych evaluated, man. He needs to be evaluated by a psych. Something wrong with this man, I'm telling you. I call it a spade a spade. We ain't gonna sit. He's a civil servant. He put himself in that position. He gotta take what come with it. Why did he take offense? Most schools are heavily populated by female teachers. Male students, regardless of their age, tend not to have males to whom they can turn for counsel, mentorship, and encouragement. Listen, Rowan, I kid you not. Your man, I was bleeding. I saw him as an individual. I said, wait, but I had a look that you are right. You need help. I didn't know he was in or out. I don't have a clue. I didn't know what was going on. I asked a simple question that any human would ask a person bleeding, especially a young man. So when I saw him touching it all the time, I try to advise him, but don't put your hand in it. If anything, get wet tissue or get the tissue and put some pressure to stop the bleeding. So at least you get some control for the time. I don't know if they call this. I don't know what happened. So when I asked a question about the gangs, I figured, let me answer you a question with the violence and stuff. Let me answer the call. I could see, these young men carry a certain energy, looking like real militant soldiers. I like them, love the energy. There was good youths. We had a good conversation. This man he took offense. I don't know if it should be required for a highly stressed job. Yeah, so I'm not saying nothing bad about the man, don't get me wrong. He's probably a very great principal, but he might be stressed. He might be stressed trying to control, I guess it's maybe 300 males at that school. What's the population of the St. Leonard's Boys School? Somebody give me an idea. Greetings, family. Greetings 2 days ago. Some eyes and eyes. Had the conversation, evaluating those who are around our children. Makes sense, Emmanuel. I telling you, brethren, this man had a meltdown. I don't know him. I'm not trying to be, condescending in any way or fashion. Don't get me wrong. The brother had a meltdown. I saw that today. I mean, to have a principal. Look, I went to school. I had a principal named Barker. At least the one I remember. And trust me, I can't see Barker, anyhow. He had a military background, so maybe that was the difference. But I only asked the gentleman some legit questions. I wasn't questioning his method. I was only inquiring how he came to the conclusion. Is there a RICO law? So the child is guilty because the guy who did the act, those who know him is punished as well because of affiliation. Nah, we should correct all young men, not punish them. So I was just inquiring. I asked him, how long you been a principal? The man tell me I asking too many questions. Imagine a civil servant telling me, I could say a taxpayer, I do pay taxes sometimes, that I can't ask him no questions. Imagine that. What we going to find out when I get contact with the ministry first, like bright and early tomorrow? We're going to find out, Mr. Cox, how long you been at that position. And I'm going to write a nice letter. I'm going to send you a copy. I'm sending ministry 1-2. We need to have you evaluated. I think you're under pressure. You might need a vacation. You might be stressed. Maybe you have family issues. I don't know. But we ain't playing that game, man. Blessings flow to all. Yes, man. Yes, same to you, brother. So if he had identified the young man's behavior for a while, what is the cause? Children don't just act out for no reason. Has an intervention being sought? Well, I asked that question that you was there, Ryan. Why you asked the same question? I asked the same question. The entire conversation was not about the young man we came to inquire about. He took us to somebody else and spoke entirely, at least 90% of the conversation was about that young man and his unsatisfactory behavior. I couldn't believe it. So my question was, I hope you try to intervene and do something, to help this young man, not just shuttle him to prison. I should hope not. But it looks that way. So we're going to find out. In fact, I got the young man's name. We're going to find out who his parents are. We're going to get in contact. We're going to do what we do, man. All day, every day, man. Principle. This prince, anyhow, family. That was one of the main things that was on. That was what was on my mind today. Look, an hour done passed. I didn't even plan to speak on that for so long, man. I had one of the other things I wanted to touch on this after the 10:30. I got to be up early. I can't be doing this tonight too late. So here we're getting on, family. We're going to roll out of here in a minute. Yes, he is. He's pipelining youth to incarceration. Colin, don't say so, Colin. Colin, I beg you, Colin, don't say so. I want the numbers. I want the Ministry of Education collects data. They love data. What are the statistics for all the schools? Yes, but I want that particular school. Yes, we know that some young men come out and do exceptionally well. Even if it was only 10%, 20%, even if it was 30% of the young men, it may be failing 70%. Even if it was 40%, we may be failing 60%. So where is 60% of the men go? What do they do? Mr. Motley said it's a lot lower than that here. We want the numbers. Enough is enough. We ain't talking no more. We collecting the data. We're gonna analyze it. We can come up with some solutions, man. Yes, words are placement of words are important. Yes, indeed. I figured it was that. You are asking too many questions. Your energy had him upset. Seems like the gentleman has an emotional disability. Seems like he is jealous or intimidated by your presence. Well, I don't want to say that's what it is. Everybody keep telling me that people get intimidated by me, my presence. I don't know why. I'm a mild-mannered man. I had a lot of things slide, that other people think I shouldn't let slide. His Majesty said diplomacy first. So I practice diplomacy first at all costs. If diplomacy breaks down, well, if this is the energy they're intimidated by and it's diplomacy, I would hate for them to feel the wrath, quite frankly. Listen, the public, people, taxpayers have the grasp that the tree branches are unanswerable to us, not disrespectful. No, as a matter of mutual respect, and people have to act within reason. You say that, right? Not disrespectful. You say that, right? But like I said, pardon me a second, how long you been principal? And I was asking him how long he was principal to find out if, he has seen this behavior over a period of time from this particular young man. Because to my knowledge, this young man is not known to the principal as a person that gives trouble. He didn't speak any way in fashion about this young man here. He's caused problem in his school. In fact, I heard another teacher say that this is my favorite student. Spoke very highly of him. So I was asking the question, how long have you been principal, to find out if he's new to the school or not? That's all I was asking, to find out, well, maybe you now got to build a relationship, because September is only a few days ago. Like 16 was really like 2 weeks ago. Me in third week of school, fourth week at best. So, he might be new. So I was just trying to inquire if he was new to that institution. The man said they asked him too many questions. Imagine that. Anyhow, family. No person have a right to pay for water, because man can make water. Listen, Mr. Roderick, greetings to see you too, first of all. Manners and respect. I fully endorse this message in more ways than one. And we can catch the water if that's the case. If we can't make it, we can still catch it and prepare it, boil it, do what we got to do. So there's really no excuse. But we got to find ways to help each other, man. If the ball valve ain't working, it will keep flowing water into the toilet, wasting water. That's another thing too. So Monica, make sure you turn off the main valve to make sure the water is actually turned off, okay? Pedro, greetings to you too, my brother. You say, Ross, you can't question Caesar. Man, I ain't learning this thing here. This is crazy, man. The man had a whole meltdown. And I really sorry. I didn't want to really put it out there like that, but I feel that, man, we got to be held accountable. Those that assign themselves to public life have to accept scrutiny in a public manner. Because if you could be so bold, to have the unmitigated gall and the audacity to try to act the way you act towards a parent today, first by ignoring the fact that I was even in the room, but not even inquiring who I was in the room, for the sake of note keeping, and your log and your journal, you had a meeting with parents and a student of your school, but you deliberately not inquire who the male was in the room, because why? Why? You try to make me feel less than, act like I wasn't there, try to silence. You figure if you didn't write me in the book, I was going to be silent. Oh, man. Anyhow, let me roll out, man. But Pedro, you got a point, and it's noted, man. So he was using what the people vested in the office against the very people. This is a major problem and has been. I'm telling you, man. The sad reality is that many principals behave as if they are God on the school compounds. They behave as if they are controlling field them, and do not tolerate any sort of contrary opinion from their staff, students, or visitors. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the case with this individual, but I think that, like I said, maybe he's just a little stressed on the pressure. Greetings to you too, Jacqueline. Greetings. Perhaps he's under pressure. I don't know. Wasn't aware it got fixed. I ain't even sure it got fixed or not either. I don't even know. Hence the importance of the Freedom of Information Act. For sure, that's one bill they don't push in Barbados. No matter how fast they're pushing and amending other bills, there's some bills that they don't even hear. You don't even hear nothing about, man, at all. The principal having discussed another child without her parent permission is a violation of the child's privacy. Yo. I'm not even going to touch that one. We're not even going to touch that, family. I didn't even look at it from that angle. I was so concerned about the young man's future, but you have a very valid point there, Rowan. I'm telling you this right now, man. That right there, I don't know. It said he does watch politically incorrect. I ain't even touching it, man. You want me to tell you something? One time someone horse damaged the meter. They took it away, BWA. After some time, I got a threatening letter from the bailiff. $8,000. What? $800. I explained to him that I had no meter because they took it away. So what were they charging me for? Don't you know he just said, okay, I ain't hear nothing more from him on that. It happened a few years ago. Can there be a leak even though the pipe is not being used? Yes, there could be a leak maybe somewhere under the house. There could be a leak between the, wait, hold on a minute. Wait, hold up. This is the same place that don't have a meter? Because, help me here. If it has a meter now, between the meter and the house on the ground, could be a leak on the ground. You don't know. You'll get somebody come and test it. But turn off the main if you have a main so that either the leak after the meter, it wouldn't be an issue for you. So you can always have that checked. Jacqueline said, "Not people are unbalanced and get triggered easily." It's a possibility, ma'am. Like I said, if I offended the brother, I apologize. That wasn't my intention. I don't see how I would have offended him because I've been in several meetings with principals locally and regionally. I do this, man. I'm a grown man. I don't. So I was just inquiring, how did you come to that conclusion? You rather than discipline this young man and correct this young man, you thought punishing the guy, go home and suspend from school. Suspend from school for what? You ask this principal right now, what is this you suspended for? No, he'll tell you for not. In fact, I don't even have the term he used, but I mean, it's ridiculous. It don't even make no look. It does not make sense. It's an abuse of authority, man, and it's unfair to the children. We keep doing this to our children. They be blaming the children for misbehaving when the adults is who's causing the problems with the children. In most cases, we go address the pink elephant in the room, man. We got to address it. You say, if you have a meter, your bill should be $32 a month, apparently, from reliable sources. How can they measure how much water is wasting or being used if there is no meter? We might be missing some things there, Andrea. We don't know what's going on in that resort. So we're going to let it go. But anyhow, family, over an hour, we didn't plan to be on here for no long tonight because it's late. Came in a little late, 10:30 already. I got an early rise. Plus, I got to go to the ministry for my newfound friend. Of course, this ain't going to sit well. I hope somebody send him a message, though. We ain't doing that. You got a lot of good teachers at the school. I saw a few that I know that came and showed me respectfully. Manners and respect as always. Y'all know it ain't an issue. But this man can't function like that. And if he knew, somebody better give him a manual, man. Because this is a new day, brother. We don't treat each other that way. We treat each other with love and respect. If that was a private school, and I came as a parent who paying tuition, you would have never get on like that. The same thing. So something wrong from the top. Stop blaming the youths. It's the top that got the issues. A lot of y'all seriously psychotic, man. Y'all psychotic. Y'all are functioning psychos, man. I serious. I seen enough people in mental institutions to know when I recognize a mental patient, man. Cognitive dissonance is real. It's real, man. I ain't saying the brother got mental issues. I saying in the general sense. So don't go and say the man at school is a psycho. I ain't saying that. I saying he's probably on the stress. The behavior today as a principal did not seem to fit the role. And therefore, I recommend that he now be suspended pending an investigation and an evaluation. That's my recommendation. Having said that, family, if you have any thoughts on this program tonight, put your comments in the box below, wherever, sidebar, wherever. Let me know. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And let me get some clarity this thing. If you got to go, I heard that Ralph and the others were going from school to check the condition of the school. They were looking at the sanitary establishment, whether or not the schools were clean enough for students to return. Well, while they look at that part, what the Barbados National Congress is going to do, we're going to do evaluations on the staff to see if the staff is actually ready to be teaching our children. Because fundamentally, there's a right and a wrong thing going on here, man. Yes, the environment is important. What's equally or even more important is those minds that have the youth, the future of this nation in the palm of their hands. We ain't letting nothing slide. Gender justice or equality or anything else for that matter. Yeah, I said it. Someone said I shouldn't say that. I sound arrogant. Well, I apologize. I only said it because I know who I'm saying it to. That'd be a direct, indirect, but direct message. Because I heard what you said, man. But it's all right. It's all right. Mental issues are normalized these days, right, Pedro? I telling you, man, but that don't mean it's right. The price of free education, you get the worst education. Nah, man, that's crazy. I hope that's not the case. Maria, I like your point, Maria. I like it, man. Some people feel good to talk down to others rather than talk to them. I'm telling you, man. I mean, the man went off. The man went off, man. You know, professionals need to have a psychological assessment before dealing with the public. I think that the brother might just be under stress. You know what I'm saying? So, school or backup, a lot of things going on, different things happening in school that we don't know. And he kind of alluded to in fact, he said that the amount of things that go on, parent, he said, in fact, you know what? The Spirit just revealed to me. Look, man, Aunt Rose, I thank you here. In this meeting, at one point, he spoke about things going on in the school that are so, if you only knew. And at that point, he hung his head down, almost like if he was to, I won't say tears, but in reality, I think the brother doesn't mean any harm. Like I said, this is not an attack at the brother at the school. Let me be clear on that. But I ain't going front. You know, you handle it a bit. It went out a bit. I ain't know what happened to you end there, but the brother, he is overwhelmed. I'm telling you, he can't manage that school. This principal at St. Leonard's School doesn't have the capacity to manage the school on his own. He needs help. So if you have children that go to school there, you know somebody who has a son or, well, a son, or a son, a young man goes to that school, I'm going to recommend that parents get involved in the PTA, try to help the teachers as best you can, talk to your children, and try to assist the principal in any way you can, in a meaningful way. Because now I just realized when I play back the video clip in my mind, there was a part in that meeting when he did speak about the things happening. Man, if y'all only knew, as if I could tell you what I got to deal with, y'all would not believe me. I think that, you know what? It's a cry. His behavior was a cry for help. So let's see how we can get him the help he needs personally first, clearly, and then for the school. Because if he's going to be principal, he needs to be grounded in a better way. And then by extension, those who work under him and so on and so on. So we might go adopt this school, Barbados National Congress. So there's it go. Pedro, behave, man. You is just man. Man. On that note, I am out of here. Doesn't he have a personal assistant? If the lady who was answering the calls when the parent was calling is his assistant, I think she needs evaluation too, just based on what I heard. I think that they overwhelmed. That's all it is. They just overwhelmed, family. Good call, good call. Give thanks, man. But no. We're not throwing our people under the bus. I mean, he's one of us. He's probably been working for years, putting in a lot of work. I'm sure he's helped a lot of young men throughout his career. So I'm not condemning the brother. I'm saying on the battlefield, it's something called post-traumatic stress that soldiers go through when they come back from war. And then they go back into war. You know, as a soldier on the battlefield, you're going to be able to recognize when your fellow soldiers going through post-traumatic stress disorder. You got to be able to recognize when they stress from trauma, especially post-traumatic stress. So this brother right here might be going through situations similar. So I recognize on the battlefield that he's a warrior. He up front. He's a principal. He get there by some means or how. But he might go and take a knee, go and catch himself and come forward. Having said that, Emmanuel Barelia, we out, family. We out. So on that note, let me see. Friday, we're supposed to have a special guest coming in. I mean, a very special guest. All our guests are special. Let me not isolate that. But this individual right here, he actually said he wants to come on. Now, you know, a lot of people tell me they want to come to the time to come. Then they got to walk the poodle. They got to change the chimney. You know, Santa coming, Christmas coming up. They got to put the lights up. So there are all kind of excuses that happen sometimes. I drive in, you know, some, not all. But this gentleman, you know, I don't want to say who it is too early. But let me tell you something. He been asking to come. He said, I'm not afraid. At my stage of life, I have nothing to be worried about. I want to say what I want to say. I'm telling you, if this brother is as committed as he says he is, he's going to be on Politically Incorrect on Friday. And I'm telling you, in fact, I'm not even going to announce. I want to announce who he is even before he comes on. Because I don't want, man, when he comes on, and I'm sure he will, phone calls are going to get made in Barbados. Yo, so and so and so and so on Politically Incorrect. Here I go and send the link. It's going to be that kind of program, family. And man, oh man, based on the conversation we've had in the last few weeks, Barbados is in for a rude awakening. This is a businessman, a very successful businessman in Barbados. And he has seen a lot of things come and a lot of things go. And he has an idea where he thinks Barbados is going now as a successful businessman in Barbados. This is going to be a very monumental event on Friday night. I'm telling you, man. So, and man, anyhow, God's willing, keep him strong, keep him safe, and we'll see him on Friday. So having said that, we're going to ease up out of here tonight. I was going to drop a tune, man, but I had something else I wanted to play instead. I don't even know if I can find it right now, but I had it, but then I moved it. It was kind of like between minds. I didn't put that one on. So I'm going to tell you this. Yes, Maria, don't forget to call me. I heard your thoughts. We have to be honest, family. We're living in some change in time, not just in Barbados or regionally, but internationally. And we got to start preparing ourselves for what is to come. Residents of St. Lucie, if you're watching this, anybody who's interested and have a friend or family, if you're interested in acquiring a water tank, there's a number on the screen below. Give us a call. We'll plug you into a water tank initiative that we had going on, where you can get a tank at a, well, give us a call. I'll leave it at that and not put too much out there. Give us a call. Give us a call. The number's on the screen. 838-8253. Give us a call. 838-8253. Let's see how we can help you, as well. Because every little bit makes a difference. We can't be, do for yourself what you can do for yourself. What you can't do, you work to suit. But if you can do something for yourself, God helps those who helps themselves. Thanks y'all for sharing your time, your energy tonight, your synergy. And I will you all a beautiful, peaceful, and restful night. I wanted to play something here. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. I gotta tell you all this first. When we wait, Palmer. Oh, wait, I thank you, Jacqueline. I didn't realize. Mom's matriarch. Greetings from Barbados as always. You and the family. Miss Stewart, you are an amazing woman. You keep firm and you keep the fight going. Smiling Butterfly, I see you too. Respect to you too, family. We all looking out for the children. We gotta look out for the children, man. That's it right there, man. Jalbiz said the entire society is in crisis, a true reflection of this country's governance. Oh man. Said bear in mind that the Ministry of Education has a propensity to reshuffle their principals and inform them a few days before their new assignments. I don't know if that's the case with him. I will keep my child at home until these people are more themselves. It's a serious thing, man. And like I said, I want us to be serious, man. That's all right, Pam. That's all right. Catch you on the replay, man. Catch you on the replay. We're gonna be good though. But we Family, it is us who are hindering ourselves. My people are destroyed for lacking knowledge. There is no one coming to rescue us. And if Christ is to return, he said, make sure you work until I come. So for my Christian brothers and sisters, make sure you're finding work to do. Otherwise, your hands become idle. And y'all know the other side of that coin. The photo of the boat reminds of the book On the Beach by Lady Bird series. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in, paying attention to that. Family, give yourself a round of applause, all of you. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and comments. And we are proud of here, man. We're going to link on Friday. Like I said, I got a gentleman that's coming in, man. I'm looking forward. He's an elder of mine for many years, business advisor. Someone I have taken mentorship from as well. And so looking forward to sharing his knowledge and wisdom on Friday. So, and also his victories and perhaps in some cases, some defeats. But, one door closed, another one opens. So looking forward. Until then, family, let me go. Let me go. Okay. All right. Okay. I can leave it at that. I won't do that. Okay. So then you got to follow the spirit. Not sometimes, you better follow the spirit, man. I'm going to play this song for obvious reasons, since I'll be on the topic tonight, since we're on discussion tonight, going right back to my people right here, one and only Risa Garns, right?
For the children, this is for the children are our future. This is for the children, but they're also our present. For the children, this is for the children.
This is for the children, family.
Present is a gift.
All the children in Barbados, man. Across the region, man. By extension, man. Operation Save the Children. Here.
Children guidance and protection.
Operation Save the Future.
Them the way.
Teach them the way.
Lead them astray. Give the children love and understanding. This is what I pray each and every day. Yeah. Children come as a blank slate, a brand new life now to create. It's up to us as the mothers and the fathers to help them navigate. It's our responsibility as the older generation to set a proper example and practice what we teach. Let the children grow in safety and security. Let them know, having faith in the Almighty will see them through and turn gray skies to blue. It's up to me and you. Give the children guidance and protection. Show them the way. Lead the children astray. Give the children love and understanding. This is what I pray each and every day. Yeah. We're no longer afraid to stand up for our children. Any violators will meet certain condemnation.
Love this vibe here, Risa.
No matter who it may be, you will face judgment with certainty. The Almighty, He never sleeps, and He loves the children. You see, let the children grow in safety and security. Let them know that life is what you make it.
Love the children, man.
Comes down to our choices.
Future of tomorrow.
You and me, mothers and
Today.
sisters and the brothers, aunties, uncles. Give the children guidance and protection. Show them the right way. Again, give the children astray. No, give them love and understanding. I pray each and every day. For the children, this is for the
Yes,
children.
Chinese last the first and this is 0 minutes. One perfect balance, family. One perfect balance, family. For the sake of the children, family.
For the children, this is for the children. For the children, this is for the children. For the children, this is for the children.
Yes, for the sake of the children, family. That's what we're dealing with, man. Just good energy, good vibes all the way, all the while. Yeah, we all have a peaceful and restful evening. Peaceful and restful evening, family. Love and light to all of you. We'll connect on Friday. Guidance to you, my brother. Yes, peaceful and restful night, family. Indeed. I'll stay up and stay vigilant. Right? Tell him, Risa. It's good energy right here, man.
Give the children love and understanding. This is what I pray each and every day. Yeah.